Hey there, Russ here. Welcome back to the shop. Hope you got your coffee this morning. We're going to take a quick trip right outside the back door. And let me explain to you, set this all up first before we do. So, if you have a cup of coffee, you can take it with you if you want. Just be careful. So, anyway, Old Sneedlock Workshop. He's another channel that I watch off and on. And he kind of inspired this one again. He's the one that inspired me to do the thing on the gas can. Well, the other day he did one about birdhouses in his excuse me, in his yard. He likes to build birdhouses. He does it all the time. He's had several videos on birdhouses. He just likes doing them. And he makes lots of good, great looking birdhouses. Anyway, the other day he talked about one. He was set it up in his back porch area, or his side porch, where he sits out there and I just spilled a little water. Let's see if we can get that cleared up a little bit. Anyway, he was talking about his birdhouses and how he had all these birdhouses all throughout his lot, and that he had set up that all these birds are in. And then near the end of the video, he turns it and he shows his little dining table that's on his porch. And lo and behold, in one of the chairs, there's a bird nest being built. And I thought that was hilarious. And it just kind of prompted me to think about my bird nesting dilemma that I have had. I've had one going on for 5 years now, maybe 6, several years. Anyway, and I'm pretty sure it's the same bird. So I had this robin, and she does have a mate. I've seen both of them. I mostly see her, but he's in early spring. I see both of them a lot, and when they first are starting their nesting. But I have this problem in that it's right outside my back door here. I have between the house and the shop, I got this little gate fence area that I built, and it's got a thing overhead for a little bit of shade right through the gate area. And the first year, she actually put a nest right up on the top of that, closest to my building here on this side. And I didn't think anything of it that year. But the next year, she came around the corner and she built it right on top of my ladder. I have a step ladder along with a bunch of other outside stuff that I use out here. And if I need that ladder, it's right outside my back door, so it makes it easy to get to. The overhang of the building keeps everything out of the weather without any problem. So it's been a good place to have this aluminum ladder. I've had it there for several years. So anyway, she decided one year she built it right on top of that ladder that's hanging up there. So the top of the ladder now is her shelf that she uses. And once she starts that, I can't take it down. I'm not that heartless. So that's when I saw I had a problem. So then I thought, okay, well, next year, when she got done that first year, I just took the nest out real quick and everything. And we always had this ongoing battle. Every time I go outside there, because that's real close to where I go outside to do something else. And when I get done, the whole time she's sitting there chirping like crazy at me, yelling at me. Sometimes she'll come really within a couple of feet of me on the overhead 2x4 above my garden area that I use to tie up all my tomato plants. And she'll sit along there and pop and bounce down, get closer and closer until she gets within 2 feet, just chirping like crazy the whole time I'm out there. Like, what are you doing here? This is my space. And it's really funny. Some years she'll be out there and she'll sit there and chirp at me, and I'll chirp back at her, and she'll chirp at me and I'll chirp back. And sometimes she's just really cranky. So anyway, when I catch her off guard and she jumps out of the nest, startled, that's when she really starts yelling at me about being out there. Most of the time, a lot of times, like for the last 3 days, she hasn't left that nest. She's just been sitting there. And I think it's because it's been so cold outside, and she's actually got eggs in the nest now, I'll bet. So I don't want to disturb it while she's doing that. So anyway, this has been this ongoing battle, basically. Every year I try to pull the ladder down before she starts nesting, and I keep only 1 year that I make that successfully, and I got her to build a second nest over here a couple of years ago at her old location because I got the ladder off of down on the ground before she could build the nest. So, but she's really stubborn about building it on top of that ladder. And every time she builds it up there, then I got to go 3 months or however long it is till she gets done, so I can then tear the nest down and start using that ladder again. So it is an ongoing battle. And like I said, when I saw Sneedlock talk about his nest, that's what got me thinking about this one. Let's go take a quick look at it. It's pretty bright out there, so hopefully you'll be able to see. And hopefully she'll still be in her nest this morning. I disturbed her once already, and she was yelling at me. But we're going to go out there now. Let's see if we can actually get her to chirp at me. Or I don't really want to disturb her because I'm pretty sure she's sitting on eggs now. And like I said, she's been there for 3 days. And till this morning I disturbed her, and she came out of the nest for the first time. So it is a lot warmer. The sun is beating down, so maybe these things make a big difference at how long she has to sit on the eggs and stuff. Let's go check her out. So shh, be very quiet. You can take your coffee if you want. I'm going to leave mine here. So let's go check this out real quick. So up we go. There I got you. Okay. So we're going to go out the door here. Get ready for the light adjustment. It's pretty bright out here. So anyway, as you go out the door, on this side is where my gate is. And right above the gate area, right here, right there is where that other nest is that she has used in the past. 2 years ago, she used it. Oh, she's not there. I hear her. I don't know where she is though. So anyway, here's the other nest right here. If I can see this. So it's right here is the ladder. Yeah, there's the ladder. Now you can see it, and hopefully you can see the nest on top of the ladder right there. I can't really see my screen. I'm kind of guessing this. But somewhere right above the top of the ladder. And I think you can see she's not in the ladder. She's not in, oh, there she is right there. If you can see her right there at the end of the one box. She's right there. If you can see that, I hope you can. And she's chirping at me. Chirp, chirp. Chirp, chirp. Chirp, chirp. Chirp, chirp. Chirp, chirp. So, anyway, that's the whole thing. I've been trying to get her over there, and she won't go. So she's stuck up there again. And, of course, now that she's there, I can't take the ladder down. I can't take the nest down because she's definitely got some eggs up there. Every year I watch her. The little babies come along and everything. Like I said, this has been going on for 5 or 6 years now. Fighting with her. So I thought it was kind of funny when Sneedlock started talking about his bird nest right there on his chair. It just got me to laugh, and I got to thinking about my ongoing battle with one bird in particular here. I'm pretty sure it's the same bird. Like I say, it's been a robin every time, and it does look like her, although seeing one robin, you see them all to me. So, but I thought that was funny, and I thought I'd share this quick little story with you. And yes, I could build a shelf out there. I could do all sorts of different things. But in all reality, now I'm just being stubborn. I like birds, don't get me wrong. I do feeders around here all the time, and I've shown you some of my feeders. But sometimes we have feeders set up around the back deck where we sit outside a lot during the summer months and watch the birds at the feeders. And they're always a trip to enjoy to watch birds. But nesting was not something I really get into, and I know that they're a mess, and they really can be a real mess to have around. So I'm not a big fan of putting up bird houses. I figured I feed them. I'm doing my part. So that's why I do what I do. And anyway, yes, I could probably solve this problem, but it's kind of like a little war that I'm just not ready to give up on and take the harsh action so where she can never do it again. I'm just trying to teach her to, you're welcome here, but make your nest somewhere else, please. So we'll see where this ends up next year. Obviously, she won again this year. So I got to wait till she's done. And I got to be careful because one year I noticed, and maybe she does that all the time. I don't know enough about robins to know. But she did one year have 2 nestings in the same summer season. She was off and started real early, kind of like this year, where she had the nest going. I saw the little birds. She usually has 3 at a time. And every year I can see little birds, their head popping up, their mouths open, waiting. and then eventually get bigger and bigger, and then all of a sudden you see them flying away. So this year I haven't seen any birds yet. I'm sure she must be getting close. But one year I actually saw where she got them all. They got gone. And then sometime in midsummer, July or August, I don't remember exactly when, she actually did a second nesting. I didn't know birds did that. And she actually came up with a second nest of birds toward the end of the season that last year, during that season. So I was kind of taken back a little bit. So I have to be careful when I take the nest down that there are definitely no eggs in there when I do it, so that it's not my problem at that point. So she won again this year. Next year I'll try again. Maybe eventually I'll figure out a way to do this passively, but I probably should just build a shelf and be done with it. I know. So stop typing. I already know that'd be a solution, but it's excuse me. This is one of those wars that I just don't want to give in on. Sometimes I'm like that. So anyway, if you have any humorous stories about birds, bird nesting, bird feeding, don't go ahead and share them. We'd love to hear those things. I want to thank Dave over at Old Sneedlock Workshop for doing his video about the bird nest, because it kind of inspired me to do mine. So thank you, Dave. If you have any comments, ideas about this, your own stories about bird nests or birds in general, this is a good place to leave the comment. If you learned something here, you like this video, hit that like button. It lets me know that I'm still doing the right thing, even when I'm rambling. So most importantly, please come back again, because I'm nowhere near done, and apparently neither is she. So thanks, and we'll see you guys in very soon.